Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks, and it's a brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer? And joining me today is somebody who I had the pleasure of meeting at KatsuCon. He was cosplaying as Kiss from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6 Stone Ocean, and the cosplay was simply amazing, and that is Av1no. Av1no, how are you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me, Benjamin.
Hey, you're welcome, man. It's like, when it comes to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it's one of my favorites, and I'm one of those type of people where if you cosplay from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, we're gonna become friends, and that's just how it is. So thank you so much for joining me. And before we get into today's interview, everybody that's watching, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And as D always says, podcast link down below in the description. Like, follow, subscribe. So let's go ahead and get into today's interview. So Av1no, the first question that I ask each and every guest up here on Who's That Cosplayer is, what is your origin story? Every hero or villain has one, so tell everybody who you are.
All right, sure thing. So I was born in a little country called Honduras back in the day, in the 90s. I've just moved around. My dad was in the Air Force for a long time, so I had to move around all over the country. I moved to Colombia, Mexico, all over the United States. And it was really a wild thing to see all the different cultures and different way and stuff like that. Was just through those cultures, just seeing how different people liked different shows, different games. And then so it really drew me into anime, and I guess that's where my origin story is. I stayed here in Virginia area, and this is where I've been for the last couple of years.
That's awesome, man. So pretty much you went on a real bizarre adventure, just going all over
Yeah.
and just seeing like different cultures and experiencing how it is to be with different people and whatnot. And that's pretty awesome. So, now I want to ask you, like, what was it that made you want to get into cosplay?
Yeah, sure thing. So before I really was never into cosplay. I liked the animes. I liked watching the shows, playing the games, but I never really saw myself into anime or into cosplaying. Sorry. And then so one time I went to KatsuCon. Funny enough, a couple of years ago, I believe before the pandemic, and I just went with some friends and I saw all the cosplayers. I was like, whoa, yo, this is so cool. I can't believe people are actually dressing up. People are putting the effort into just creating such amazing outfits. And I was like, I'd like to try this sometime. And then the pandemic happened, and then I couldn't really try that. And then so last year I said, all right, I'll try it this time now that things are opening up a little bit more, and that's what I did. I think my first cosplay was Rohan Kishibe, and then I also bought like a Spider-Man outfit, and then I just got into it from there, and then I just continue.
That's awesome. So it just kind of snowballed right after that. And, I hear that from a lot of people that it's just like either before the pandemic or at the start of the pandemic is like when everybody really started getting into cosplay and watching anime and whatnot, because it's like you were at home, so you really didn't have anything else to do. Now, were you one of those type of cosplayers? Because you had some people that look to TikTok to cosplay. They would get a bunch of cosplays, put videos out on TikTok, create content and whatnot. And then when cons started coming back around, like people knew who they were because they were posting stuff on TikTok. Now, were you posting anything on TikTok? Are you on TikTok?
I'm actually not on TikTok. I've always viewed it, but I've never made my own profile. I've never started adding cosplays there. I always thought it was a great idea, but really the places where I did see it were like Reddit and YouTube, and definitely a little bit of TikTok. But I just saw it through a bunch of different sites, different cosplays. I know Pinterest is another big one where a lot of people like to post. And so I just started looking through those and started posting a little bit through them. I'm still a little nervous to start TikTok just because I feel like I'm out of my element on there. But I don't know. I'm continuing with Instagram for now.
Hey, I mean, and that's cool. I mean, I feel like with how social media is, like, you can find wherever you want to do your thing at and just go from there. Because for the longest time, like, I had TikTok, but just like you, I never used it. Like, I would go up there and watch videos and whatnot, but I posted all of my stuff on Instagram. And then, you know, one day I was just like, you know what, maybe I should start posting some stuff on TikTok. Like, I've gotten better. You know, people, they check my stuff out, but it's just like, I'm not huge like some of the other people that are on TikTok and whatnot. It does take a lot of work. And, you know, I feel like if you just, you know, doing this for fun and you just want to, you know, post some videos, post some content up there, and like, you don't care about how many followers you have and how many views you have, as long as you're having fun, then that's all that matters. It's the same thing like on Instagram. You post your stuff and, you know, as long as you're having fun with it, that's all that matters. So I want to ask you, how was it when you went to the conventions after the pandemic and you were cosplaying? Like, how was that feeling compared to the first time that you had went when you weren't cosplaying?
Yeah, so the first time I was supremely nervous just to get into it. I was like, I don't know if people are going to recognize me. This is like my first time, just like with the Rohan outfit. But then I went in, got the ticket, all that. And then people started asking me for pictures and stuff. I was like, yo, this is so weird. I've never had people like stop me and take pictures. I've never had people like compliment like the outfit and the wig and all that. And I was like, yo, this is so interesting. So I see why people start to like this. I really just grew into it and I started liking it a lot. I felt, so I felt nervous at first, but once I went into it, I felt really confident. I felt a lot better about myself, and I just enjoyed it at the end of the day.
That's awesome, man. And, you know, to see like where you are now, because, excuse me, like when I saw your Kiss cosplay, like I thought that it was amazing. And I was walking with my friend, I was just like, bro, like, look at that cosplayer right there. Like that thing is awesome. And I love that you have cosplayers out there now that are making the stands from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And like all of the ones that I've seen, like they look so amazing. So I want to ask you, like, what was the thought process where you just like, you know what? I want to take it up a level. I want to level up and I want to actually make a stand.
Yeah, so I think I just got into it. I have a couple 3D printers, and I started, you know, printing some basic stuff around the house, some little toys, those kind of things. But then I was like, I could do more with this. So I started printing out some big helmets. I think my first one was like a Dr. Fate helmet from DC.
Nice.
And I said, yo, this could work. I could see this working for cosplay. So for the Kiss one, I really just like stands. Really, I always see people cosplaying the regular characters, but no one really cosplays the stands that much. Like you see like the World or like Star Platinum every now and then, but never like some of them other minor ones. Yeah. So I have the helmet right here.
Nice. Hey, I love it. I love it. There it is.
Yeah.
Who's that cosplayer?
Miss Tokoyami.
I started printing it out, or I got someone to model it. I tried modeling it. I'm not very good at 3D modeling, but I started printing it out. It was a complicated process. Just I fell in love with the process, and I don't know. I just love making some of those harder characters now, just through the use of 3D printing and foam and all the different materials you could use to make such a thing.
So I want to ask you now, what's the next stand that you are thinking about creating?
Yeah, sure thing. So I got a couple in mind. I think my next one will probably be Dirty Deeds, Done Dirty D4C. I'm still planning it out right now. It's in the beginning stages. What's it called? Purple Haze at some point.
Yeah, that would be dope. I see. I feel like when you do that stuff, because I'm trying to think at KatsuCon, I don't think I saw any Fugo cosplayers, which is weird because there was one. There was one. But it's just like here in Virginia, like where I'm at, you know, in the 757, you usually see a lot of Fugo cosplayers, but at KatsuCon I only saw one, which was weird. But I think that when you make that stand cosplay and like you go to cons where there are like a bunch of Fugos at, like they're all going to be all over you. Can I get a photo? Can I get a photo? Can I get a photo? I know that there were a couple Hermeses at the con too. Did you get any photos with them when you were Kiss?
Yeah, I think I got one or two. Typically, I never see any Hermes, so that was another reason I wanted to try Kiss. Was oh man, I barely see Hermes. I might as well try the stand just because I'm not really good at cosplaying like Hermes. But I did get a couple. I think one or two. I did see more, but I was out of the Kiss cosplay at that point. So
Yeah, that sucks, man. Now, I want to talk about the like later on. I want to say it was Friday night. Yeah, it was Friday night, and I had switched out of who was I cosplaying as? I know I was Deku, and then I was Rengoku, and I wasn't going to cosplay anymore until somebody had told me that there was going to be like a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure teacup thing, which me and Av1no, we linked up because he was cosplaying as Josuke and I was part 4 Jotaro, and I was just like, hell yeah, like, I'm with my uncle right now, this is pretty dope. And we thought that the meetup was at an actual like restaurant, and I want to say it was me, you, there was a Caesar cosplayer there, a Mista had showed up, but it was actually just a regular place. And I was just like, then why was everybody told to come here? But anyway, like, I thought it was cool that you were Josuke. Like, your Josuke looks phenomenal and it's different. Like, I love that what you love to do with your cosplays is be different than everybody else, because I mean, I see the normal Josuke's all the time, but I never see the Josuke in the outfit that you were doing with the sweater. And then of course, seeing your Kiss, like I've never seen a Kiss cosplay at a convention before, and I feel like KatsuCon is the place to do those big or different cosplays at, because of course you're going to see people doing the same cosplays, like me cosplaying as Deku, you're gonna see 1,000 Deku there. I was actually surprised to see part 4 Jotaros, because here in my area, you really don't see part 4 Jotaros. Like, I'm the only part 4 Jotaro. Well, it's me and somebody else, but I just love that you like to be different than everybody else, and that is a very special and unique thing when it comes to cosplaying. So I want to talk about this now because we've been talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure the entire interview. We both love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so I got to know, which part is your favorite part?
All right. I know everyone loves part 7, and that is one of my favorites, but I'm gonna go with part 4 just because I love the characters. Josuke is like the boy, the man, the myth. Um, yeah, part 4 is great. All the characters are phenomenal. My next one would probably be part 6, just because I love those characters as well.
Yeah.
So like part 4, 6, and 7 would be the order.
That's crazy. I mean, like for me, like part 4 is my favorite, but part 6 is kind of slowly creeping up at becoming number 1, just because of how good the story is. And when I was first watching it, I thought it was okay, but like as it got towards the end, I was just like, man, like this is pretty good. Like, why was I sleeping on part 6? But I think that that's a really good order that you have. I'm still reading part 7 right now, and I just got to chapter 5, but I'm enjoying it so far. But I've heard from so many people that part 7 is really good. So now I got to ask you, and I feel like I already know what the answer is. Which JoJo is your favorite JoJo?
Josuke.
Okay.
Yeah, no question.
Same. It's like you said. No, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, yeah, yes. Josuke is like the main one. That's the one I could always relate with. And then after that, I think like Jolene, and I like the new Josuke as well. Part 8 Josuke is pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, I can't wait until I get to part 8. Have you started reading part 9?
Yeah, I did. I think they just dropped the first chapter so far. But I did hear tomorrow chapter 2 is coming out. I'm not sure.
Nice.
I'll definitely check on it. It's pretty good so far. You'll definitely enjoy it.
So it's like right now, and I feel like that because part 9 just came out, that I have time. Like, I need to go ahead, get through part 7, get through part 8, so that way I can finally be caught up and be hip like everybody else when it comes to the chapters and whatnot. Because I know when part 8 had came out, like people were talking about it, and I was just like, man, like I'm only at part 5. Like, I need to catch up on all this stuff. So now I want to ask you, which villain from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is your favorite? It can be a major villain or it could be a minor villain.
That's a good question. There's so many good ones. I really like there's one in part 7. I don't think you've gotten to it yet, but his name is Ringo Rodigan. I think that's how you say it. And he has a really cool stand. He's pretty much a main villain without being a main villain. um, Aside from that, I'd probably go with Kira. Kira's a classic. And then Dio as well.
All right. I love how you keep on giving me threes, man. And you know, I feel like the reason why you're doing that is because you're trying to stay away from the number 4, even though part 4 is your favorite. And yes, that's a JoJo reference if you don't know. But now, final JoJo question I got for you. If you could have your own stand, what would the stand be and what would its special ability be?
Gotcha. I thought of this before. One stand I would definitely love is one that could alternate sounds, kind of like Koichi's stand from part 4, similar to that, but I don't know, that does a little bit more. Like it could boost the sound or it could change the sound entirely. And I don't know, I really like that concept. And then another concept is probably like teleportation.
Yeah, so when it comes to teleportation, like that's something that I would really like to have for a stand as well. You know, with traveling a lot, whether it be to conventions or wrestling shows, I would love to have teleportation. It'd make things definitely a whole lot easier. So, you know, we're getting close to the end of the interview, and I just want to ask you now, like when you're not cosplaying, what are some of your hobbies that you're into?
Yeah, sure thing. So 3D printing is definitely one of my main hobbies. I love video games just like everyone else. Let's see. I definitely like biking and working out. I try and go to the gym at least hit the full body at least 3 times a week. But the gym is definitely one of my like safe places. I definitely love going.
Same, man. It's just like I go to the gym all the time. Like I'm still recovering from Katsucon, but when I am not at the gym, like I'm just chilling. But it's just like if I'm not chilling, then I'm at the gym. And it's like even just before we did this interview, I was at the gym. Today was leg day. So it's just like yeah, the gym, like you said, the gym is your safe space. Like I just love working out at the gym. So I want to ask you, like what are some of the video games that you're playing?
I do a lot of the mainstream ones right now, like Call of Duty, as a lot of people do. I've been playing the new Hogwarts game. I thought that was cool. I got Hufflepuff on the quiz, so that's what I'm at now. And then I'm playing Dead Space as well, the new remake that came out.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. So yeah, so Av1no, we're here at the end of the interview. Thank you so much for joining me up here on a brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer? And before I let you go, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
Oh yeah, you can find me on Instagram, _Av1NO, and then underscore again.
All right, awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Y'all know where y'all can find me, your hero Benjamin Banks at King Benji _Banks on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find me on Facebook as Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again, y'all, for checking out this brand new interview. Make sure that you stay tuned for some more interviews that we have up here on the channel. Check out the podcast where we have brand new episodes every Tuesday. The link is down below in the description, and then the video of that interview is up here on YouTube on Friday. So with that being said, keep that pinky up, stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Bye.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.